Hey everyone, this is Jesse here. Wanted to do a video on a very simple idea for a worm bin. Um, I have here these are pond planter pots, I guess. They're from Home Depot. You can get them in the garden section. They're like $2, $3 a piece. Pretty sturdy. They have holes all throughout, and so these are kind of the similar. If you've ever bought a worm bin, you basically have plastic like this that's much bigger. It's stackable, so these can easily stack. So the idea is that basically you have kind of a base. This will capture any liquids. Everything will drain as needed. Um, this stuff will be stacked full of material. So like I have grains from the garden. I've got coffee grounds. You can see some strawberries in there. So you will fill up the bin with food on top, and then once that's full, you can start with the next one. And depending on what your setup's like, but you might be able to stack four, it's probably three or four. And then at that point, you'd be able to actually take the bottom tray, which hopefully the worms have processed all the food, and they will subsequently crawl up and up and up into the higher bins. And so we can kind of do something like that. And then you will constantly be able to stack and move and take all the good compost from the bottom of those items. So I typically have, coffee and everything, so I'll put those in there. Some liquids, some dry stuff, a good combination of both. Got some other cuttings and stuff from the garden, and some dry leaves from the winter time. Kind of a good combination of both, or all three things. And as you can see, this one, I've only put these worms in here for about a week. Normally I have some that crawl out or they try to escape the first day or so. Same thing with this one. I have new worms in here, but I have just kind of grass clippings that were aged, some leaves, and a little bit of dirt, a little bit of soil that's moist, so those guys didn't crawl out either. But basically, you can kind of see these are giant compost worms. You can see that. So normally compost worms are probably about half the size. These are known as like super reds, red regulars. So they should, they're bigger. You could probably use them for fish bait and whatnot. They produce and eat a lot more stuff than the smaller compost worms, if you've ever seen those. But typically they hate the sunshine and everything, so I'm in the south, I'm in Texas, there's fire ants. That's one thing that I have to watch out for, is that food and things like that, they'll just ruin a worm bin. So I'll probably place these guys inside in the garage. It's dark, and just make sure that there's no ants that are crawling into it or whatnot. But you can see the bin makeup. There's coffee grounds, there's soil. So I'll try not to disturb these guys too much. And there's some more guys down there. I'm actually gonna try and probably fill up this bin a little more, just because it's about halfway. Don't want to squish these guys or let it fall. So I'm gonna actually put some of this stuff in there and let them process that. Got strawberries and everything. Kind of see the makeup. And I'm assuming over time it'll just compress and then do its thing. Okay, final answer. Alright, so that's a little bit better. That, and with everything, I'd say 3 high is pretty good. So that's kind of the worm bin setup, and yeah, let me know your thoughts. It's pretty easy. You can get it for about $10, $15. You can have 2 sets of bins in a container. Yeah, one other quick thought on the worm bins. They're stackable, which is what you need for worm bin. Very inexpensive. You could have a complete set of 6 of these trays, so 20 bucks for those, and then just some sort of container. You could put this in a tote or anything like that. Um, but everything has plenty of surface area for airflow. The air can get in and out. It can drain through the bottom. The worms can crawl up through the bottom, as you saw. You can take these out easily. They're very small. It's probably like about 8-inch squares or so. And you can dump these straight to whatever container that you're looking for in the garden. Dump them in the garden, use it for compost tea or anything like that. So pretty handy. The only downside that I can see as of right now is that there's not really any way to drain any compost liquid that would accumulate at the bottom. You could figure out something with a bulkhead fitting. Typically you have to have something a little more durable than a tote. The plastic's very brittle. So like I'll do bulkhead fittings on my aquaponics system. But this is like very rigid stock tank material. So we got that going. And I have a lot of stuff that's growing in here that I'll take out, and I'll put the greens that are going to be bitter, and I'll put them in the worm bin to process. So with that, thanks for watching, and I'll do some more videos later on.